Good evening. Department of Migrant Workers Secretary Susan Toots Ople has passed away, according to the agency. DMW announces her death in a statement, saying Ople died around 1 p.m. on Tuesday, surrounded by her family and loved ones. The DMW did not say the cause of her death, but Ople had been battling breast cancer. The agency adds that it will release more details soon, as it asks for prayers for the Ople family. Meanwhile, President Bongbong Marcos laments the death of Ople, saying it was a great loss.
It is a great loss for all of us who called her my friend. It is a great loss to the Philippines for the service that we know she could still have rendered. It's a very, very sad news. I have lost a friend. The Philippines has lost a friend. Secretary Toots is a special person, and with a deep compassion really for the people that she had to care for, namely the migrant workers. And she was very, very, it's a big loss.
Despite Chinese vessels attempting to harass its crew, the Philippine Coast Guard says they have successfully conducted the rotation and resupply mission for BRP Sierra Madre in Ayungin Shoal. In a statement, the National Task Force for the West Philippine Sea says the routine follow-on rotation and resupply mission to the BRP Sierra Madre was successfully conducted on Tuesday, August 22. This despite attempts by China Coast Guard and Chinese maritime militia vessels to, quote, block, harass, and interfere with the supply mission, according to the task force. The task force reports that Unaiza May 1 and Unaiza May 2 were escorted by PCG vessels BRP Cabra and BRP Sindagan during the mission, while Philippine Navy ships were also at standby. It can be recalled that on August 5, Chinese Coast Guard vessels used water cannons against Philippine boats supplying the commissioned ship stationed in Ayungin Shoal. A Department of Agriculture official says he does not believe that the so-called rice cartel exists in the country. DA Undersecretary for Rice Industry Development, Leocadio Sebastian, was grilled during a hearing of the House Committee on Appropriations on the DA's proposed budget for 2024. Manila's 6th District Representative Bienvenido Abante Jr. fired the question about the DA's action against the supposed rice cartel in the country.
Let me interject, no? Do you believe there's a rice cartel?
Mr. Chair, the rice industry is very big in the country. It's a big industry.
No, don't answer me that. I'm asking if you believe there's a rice cartel.
I don't believe, Mr. Chair, there's a
The
rice
Philippine Competition Commission believe there's a rice cartel.
Anyway, Mr. Chair,
In the city of Manila, we believe there's a rice cartel. This is my first time. This is my first time that you answered there is no rice cartel.
can I answer you?
I'm not angry, I'm just dynamic.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Sebastian says no rice shortage is foreseen in the Philippines despite the soaring staple food price. When asked by Albay 1st District Representative Ed Salagman if there is a rice shortage, Sebastian says there is none. Sebastian adds that what constitutes a rice shortage is when local supply is below the demand. But DA Undersecretary Mercedita Sombilia explains that the spike in rice prices is due to several factors, which she said are beyond the agency's control.
You know, it's being influenced by, you know, by the global prices, which has a spike over time, and also local prices, the farm gate prices, which has also risen, you know, over the last year, primarily from the input cost prices. The reason why we need to import, medyo manipis po yung ating stocks ngayon. And we want to really ensure that we have enough in case, you know, before the harvest season comes, in case there are eventualities that, you know, we could not, that we need to respond to.
Inmate Michael Cataroja apologizes for escaping the new Bilibid prison maximum security compound, saying he only got bored because no one had been visiting him. During a hearing and inspection conducted by the Senate Committee on Justice and Human Rights, Cataroja tells senators that he escaped NBP by clinging onto a cavity underneath a garbage truck around 9 a.m. on July 7. This after pretending to be among garbage collectors loading trash into the truck. He says he left the truck upon reaching C6 Road. Senator Francis Tolentino asks Cataroja why he escaped, to which the recaptured inmate replied that he was bored, adding he only had visitors once a month at most.
Makaramat nga po, binuhay po nila ako eh. Kaya umiit po ako ng pasensya sa harap mo ng viewer eh.
Humihingi ng?
Umiit po ako ng malaking pasensya sa harap mo ng viewer. Kung walang volume po.
Ha?
Kung walang volume po, wala akong lalaw.
Meanwhile, around 10 to 15 Bureau of Corrections personnel have been relieved from duty, according to Bucor Director General Gregorio Catapang Jr. He adds the agency is investigating the staff for possible negligence. When asked if he is convinced that Cataroja had accomplices, the Bucor head says he needs more information. Alamin naman natin ang mainit na balita sa mundo ng showbiz kasama si Ervin Santiago ng Bandera. Ervin?
Hi Neil at sa lahat ng mga kabandera natin all over the universe. Ito na nga ang latest Bandera Chika. Sa gitna ng kontrobersyang kinasasangkutan ngayon ng EAT dahil sa inireklamong pagmumura ni Wally Bayola on national TV, tuloy pa rin ang pagpapasaya ng mga dabarkad sa manonood. Anumang araw mula ngayon ay inaasahang maglalabas na ng resolusyon ang Movie and Television Review and Classification Board o MTRCB hinggil sa nagawa umanong violation ng noontime show. Nagsabi na si Wally pati na rin ang co-host niyang si Jose Manalo na willing silang sundin kung ano ang ipag-uutos sa kanila ng MTRCB nang dahil sa kanilang pagkakamali. Ngunit sa ngayon ay tuloy pa rin ang pagre-report nila sa EAT ng TV5. Samantala, hindi naman daw pikunin ang dalawang komedyante, lalo na kapag alam naman nilang biroan lamang ang pang-ookray at panlalait sa kanila. Say ni Jose mula pagkabata ay nasanay na siya sa pakikipagbiroan sa mga katropa niya noon sa lugar na kinalakihan niya na bawal ang mga pikon. Naniniwala rin siya sa kasabihang ang pikon ay talo. Pero ayon sa veteran comedian, may isang bagay lang daw ang ikinakapikon niya at yan ay kapag inagawan daw siya ng pagkain.
Hindi ako marunong mapikon. Kasi lalo pag alam kong biro, hindi ako napipikon. Basta wag mo lang kukunin yung kinakain ko, doon mapipikon ako. Hindi, wala. Siguro mula nung bata ako, nasanay ako sa lugar na kinilakihan ko na bawal ang pikon, bawal ang tanga. Kaya...
Pikon talo pag...
Oo, pag pikon ka, talo ka. Lalo ngayon, sa panahon ngayon, pag pikon ka, talo ka. So hindi mo kailangan mapikon. As long as yung iba naman, personally, kung ano ba yung ginagawa, pag yan inintindi mo, masisira ng ulo mo. Ang mo naintindi, para hindi ka mapikos.
At yan ang Bandera Chika natin today. Thanks, Neil.
Maraming salamat to Ervin. Here's the latest roundup of today's top stories. Migrant Worker Secretary Susan Toots Ople passes away. Despite China's attempts to harass its crew, Philippine Coast Guard says the rotation and resupply mission for BRP Sierra Madre in Ayungin Shoal was successful. And Department of Foreign Affairs confirms another Filipino fatality in the Hawaii wildfires. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good evening.